My question has always been this, and we have this conversation all the time.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being electable and being viable.
Right.
Viable is you can win your party's nomination. Electable means you can win a general election. I don't know how many people really believe that a 37-year-old mayor of a town whose entire population could fit inside the Ohio State football stadium could actually go head-to-head with Donald Trump and win a presidential election.
And here's the question, I think, for Buttigieg as well. Let's just say I can see a scenario where Buttigieg holds it out and stays on top and wins Iowa.
Yeah.
It's a very white state.
Yes.
It's not diverse. So this is mainly sort of a white liberal voters primary. Right. And then you move to New Hampshire, where you have a Warren potential viability. She's regionally there. But now, of course, you have this Massachusetts mayor. I don't know if he's going to run, Massachusetts governor, former Governor Deval Patrick. We don't know how that complicates her situation. Right. But let's say she held it out and won New Hampshire. Then you head down to the black primary. And that's where Buttigieg has no traction. This story this week that he had claimed that there was some support for his plan for African Americans.
And then he had a picture which apparently was from a Kenyan stock photo that was supposedly black people who supported him, not to mention the rumor several weeks ago about a leaked report. Look, here's the thing. To quote one of our dear friends, not a lot of Wakanda passports, right, in Iowa and New Hampshire. Right. So if Mayor Pete does well there, the fact of the matter is you cannot bring together a coalition to win the presidency as a Democrat. You can't just have black support. You have to have enthusiastic African-American support. Right. To Mayor Pete's credit, he has been trying. Yeah. I don't think it's going to change very much.
And so if Biden then won that primary, then what happens? I want to really quickly, because, you know, I could see Biden winning the third one. Yes. And then you've got a mess.
And Nevada. I think Joe Biden's probably going to win the Nevada caucus.
And so if you had Biden then start to win the primaries with more people of color, we could see a brokered convention.
Yes, we could. I
want to talk about Kamala Harris really quickly before we got it, because Kamala Harris, to me, is a candidate that seems to fill all those boxes. She would be fundamental change. She's a woman of color. I cannot explain why she isn't resonating more, because the fundamentals of her still seem really good to me if you want somebody who will change the perspective of what America looks like. Right. But not have as much change as maybe people think Warren is too much change. What do you think?
I want to point this out, and you know, all credit to Politico, whatever. I am so sick and tired of Harris obituary articles.
It's a bit much.
I mean, it's a bit much. She's still running, right? Yes. You don't see obituary articles for Cory Booker. You don't see obituary articles for Joe Biden, who should be raising a lot more money for being in the league. Right. I believe this, and this is the thing. There have been some strategic mistakes that the Harris campaign has made. She's also suffered from the fact of the rise of Elizabeth Warren. But at the end of the day, there is always time for a comeback kid. Right. There's always time for somebody to do really well in debate performance. Somebody else get in trouble. I don't think the Harris campaign is dead at this particular point.
And I think they've all made strategic mistakes here and there.
Yes, they have.
She's the only one that gets continually hammered. It is starting to annoy
a lot
of black
what
women.
What could possibly be the case?
I got to tell you, I know a lot of black women that are getting really irritated about it. I'm just going to throw in my own editorial comment. I think the next debate, which is an MSNBC debate, I think it loses something by not having Julian Castro there. I think he's an important voice, and it's a shame.
He's an amazing voice, and it's an indicator of the fact that you've got people who can buy their ways into these debates, like Tom Steyer, but voices that have consistently been at 3 to 5% nationally can't find their way in. The DNC's got to have a different plan.